In this video, I'll show you how to connect your Salesforce org to your SharePoint environment via 24Files. So what we've done in preparation of this video is we've installed the 24Files package in the Salesforce org, and we've configured the remote site settings as explained in our manual. Now we're in the 24Files Manager app, and we'll need to configure here the configuration towards Azure. And the first thing we need to do is we need to navigate to portal.azure.com, and we'll create a new app registration. So I'll click on app registrations here, and we'll click on new registration. We'll call it 24Files video. These settings, we'll leave them as is. We'll choose web here, and here we need to configure a redirect URL. So going back to the 24Files Manager app, here we find the redirect URL. We'll copy paste it here into the window, and we'll click register. The next thing we'll do is we'll copy the client ID and client secret. So we'll have here the client ID, so I'll copy it, and I'll copy to a notepad for now. And now we need to set up a client secret. So we have here the possibility to add a new secret. So we're going to create a new secret here. So we're going to call this 24Files video as well. And you see you have various options for the expiration date of the secret. Whatever you choose, just be aware whenever your secret expires, your connectivity between your Salesforce environment and your SharePoint environment will be broken. So it's a good practice to put a note in your calendar such that you can renew the certificate prior to the expiration date. So for this video, we'll just take 90 days. We'll add it here. And now be careful, you don't need to copy over the secret ID, but the value. So we'll copy this over, and we'll add it to the clipboard as well. Next thing we'll do is we'll configure API permissions. So we click on API permissions here. We'll have add permission. We need to scroll down to SharePoint first. So we go to SharePoint, we select delegated permissions. And now we're going to have a look at the manual. If we look here at the Azure app configuration, we look at step 3, set up the permissions. We scroll down, we see we need two SharePoint permissions, all sites write and sites search all. So heading back here, we need all sites write, and in sites we need search all, and we'll add both of these permissions. Next, we're going to add some Microsoft Graph permissions. Again, we select delegated permissions. Going back to the manual, we scroll down a bit, and we see we need offline access and OpenID. So we scroll down here, we need offline access and we need OpenID, and we add both of those permissions. Now, what you see here is that we have one of the permissions where consent is not yet granted. You may see that as well when you configure it. So here you see next to the add a permission, you see the grant admin consent. So we'll do that. We'll add the admin consent. And then you should see as a status that all the permissions have been granted. So that looks good. So heading back to our Salesforce environment, we'll fill in here the company name that we have in SharePoint, and now we're going to copy over the client ID and a client secret here. So starting with the client's ID, and next we're going to copy the client secret, and now we can log in into SharePoint. And our connectivity has been established, and you can verify that. If you go here to the default SharePoint site, you will see that we discover all the SharePoint sites that are available. We can select the document library as well, an anonymous access user, which is the user which I logged in into Salesforce here.